I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Haseeb Awan, the CEO of Efani. Haseeb, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you, Ashton, for having me on the show.
You're very welcome. Let's start off the show by understanding a little bit more about Efani. Why does it exist and how does it protect users' personal privacy and their cell phones?
Thank you, Ashton. So the reason why we exist is because I was a victim of SIM hacking 4 times. I put all the measurements, security measures on my account, my PIN, account log, port, everything, but I was still able to, hackers were still able to hack me, not 1 time, but 4 times. So I said, this problem needs to be resolved because every person in crypto is a victim. Every major person, I would say, who has been victim at some point. It's like a medal of, it's like a badge that everyone is wearing right now that, hey, okay, I became a victim of this, and still carriers were not able to fix it. So I actually went to school for engineering. So my degree is in telecommunication engineering, and I have studied cybersecurity. So I said, okay, I think I'm a victim. I understand the industry very well. So why not set up a solution which is perfect? So I came to US and I said, okay, I need to start up a company which protects you against SIM porting. But when I started going into SIM porting, I said there's other issues around privacy and security that are not, addressed by major carriers, because number one, it costs a lot of money to implement them for individual customers, but also the market is very niche. So we set up like a boutique wireless carrier where we work with all the major carriers, and so you get all the kind of network that they have, but at the same time we add privacy and security on top. So no one will know where you live, who you made a call to, where are you right now, and is able to SIM swap you or do any kind of illegal transaction on your account.
That's great. And that's much needed. And there's a lot of people that still don't really understand what SIM porting and SIM swapping is, but it is very important to know because obviously it's a similar form of hacking into your account and either getting your personal information or stealing your cryptocurrency funds, but in a different way. So can you explain to the people that aren't familiar what exactly is SIM swapping and how does it happen?
Sure. So the comments, it's getting very common right nowadays, and the reason why people are not reporting it because of the reason I'll tell you in a second that it's a kind of a blackmailing issue that comes along, and a lot of issues. So first of all, how the criminals operate. So imagine you're with carrier A, you order a SIM from carrier B. Now, if you put in telephone number, your carrier is actually selling that information of where you live and all kind of information. So you just pay someone, and they will legally, and they will provide you information of that person. So like imagine I want to say that where you live, I just have to pay someone like it's in cents, and they will tell me where you live, who you live with, your date of birth, and multiple other information that exposes you to a potential identity theft. So what they do is they will call a different carrier and they say, hey, I'm Ashton, and I want to transfer this number to this service, and they say, okay, what do you need? And you'll say, hey, this is my account number, this is my zip code, and everything. And they'll transfer a number to a SIM card that a criminal controls. And when the criminal controls, he will just go on Gmail and do a password reset or any other email account like Facebook, Twitter, and start retrieving all those information by just having your telephone number, because telephone number is the one that's listed as a secondary method for contact. So within maybe like half an hour, we have controlled all your social media account, your financial institutions, financial institute account, and then your cryptocurrencies or any other account you have. So the first attack they do is they try to attack you financially. So they will try to go into crypto exchanges if that's possible, steal over all the money. Then they will go into your bank account and try to drain your money as much as possible. Sometimes they transfer it offshore. Sometimes they do it like buy crypto and transfer it. So there are multiple ways they do it. In the second step, they will go into your social media account and try to extract as much information as possible. So they may hold your account hostage and try to steal your personal information. And then they will ask for, ask for money and ransom, as in give me this money, or I'll delete all your pictures or your private messages or something. So there are different kind of attacks. So once a person is attacked, then he has to keep on paying every month to the person who hacked him.
Wow. And all of this is because of the swapping through the carrier, either porting the phone number or convincing somebody at the telecom company that you are them and you're impersonating somebody. Now, should there be more accountability to the telecom companies where, these infiltrations are happening?
100%, but at the same time, you have to understand, telecom companies are there to facilitate a customer too. They have a bigger mandate. So I'll give you example, like at any given day, there are thousands of ports that happen legally. So if they put a check on every person, it will clog their network. So I'll give you example, like imagine you say every person who goes through a domestic flight has to follow the same procedure as an immigration. Yes, it will stop a lot of domestic issues too, but at the same time, it will cause a lot of convenience for average customers who legitimately want to transfer the number. Like in our case, when we only deal with a very specific use cases too. We don't serve everyone. We are only for the top people. And the reason, we don't serve average consumer because we cannot serve them the way they want. Right? We only work with like VIP, celebrities, influencers, top crypto investors, the people who care about their security. Because the procedure that we set up, it will be very inconvenient for average customer to set up. So yes, they should be accountable, but at the same time, I don't blame them because they're dealing with general public who actually does not even know how to put a SIM card in their phone.
Yeah. And you mentioned celebrities. I was looking through, your Twitter, and just very recently, Charlie Shrem, who is a very early Bitcoin advocate, and I'm sure he has lots of crypto funds, was targeted with this SIM swap and, in the middle of the night, and you were able to help him. Can you walk me through, what happens? Charlie sees some, email on his phone saying, you're being infiltrated. He calls you, and how did you fight back and prevent these hacks from happening?
Yeah, so Charlie, the old friend of mine, I'm in cryptocurrency for almost 8 years too. So I know Charlie for a long time. And so one day, I think it was like 3 a.m. at night, and I got a text message from him that I got SIM swapped, right? So I said, okay, I'll fix it for you. And I was able to get the number back in like 2-3 minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes. So we were able to get a number. We do this pretty much every day, 3 to 4 times. That we are able to get numbers for people back. We tell people to secure and switch to our service, but a lot of time they just say, hey, I'll wait for it, until one day they become a victim, because good guys wait, but bad guys don't wait. They're just looking for the opportunity to hack you and basically destroy you financially, emotionally, reputationally. So in a specific case, when he called me, I basically was able to get back his SIM card. I took control of his number, I think within like 5 minutes, and then I shipped him the SIM card the next day. So this is quite a common practice that we do pretty much every day.
And so that's amazing that you were able to fix it so quickly. And I've had personal experience with this SIM swapping, and going to the telecom's store and talking to the person trying to get it solved. They seemed pretty clueless. They really aren't aware of what's going on and how to get your funds back right away. And obviously, it's very stressful if you're getting targeted and hacked and people are trying to steal your funds, to be trying to, every minute counts of trying to get your account back. So to be able to do it within minutes is impressive. Now, there must be other preventative measures that can be taken, to help protect people's privacy. Obviously, using Efani is going to be great, but do you also have any general tips for people on, how to try to not get SIM swapped?
Absolutely. So there's no way a person can avoid SIM swap. Obviously, I'm biased because I use my service, but literally, we are expert in one specific thing. We don't sell you on like Mickey Mouse plans, like like Netflix. We don't give you cell phone. We don't say, hey, let's go we will offer you this. We only offer 2 things: security and privacy. So we don't optimize for anything else. So because we are expert at this thing, we are well equipped to solve this problem. Because anything that attack happen, at every second we believe that this attack is going to happen. So we're well prepared for it. But the general public is not aware for that. So if you go to a regular store, they have a high churn rate of employees leaving them, no proper training, and they're okay for 95% of the population, and the other 5%, top percent, that's what we serve. So for general people, number one thing is telephone numbers have more identities linked to your telephone number than anything else. That's like a general rule, right? Your social security number or SIM card in Canada, we have it doesn't have a lot of information. Like maybe your SIM card is shared with like 3 or 4 companies, but your telephone number is shared with pretty much everything. Your doctor office, your any online account, or like bank or IRS or CRA in Canada. So general tip is General tip is that have two numbers, and one number is for public and one number is only for 2FA. That's a general tip. You can download an app that you can do. Second thing is go into your account and turn on 2FA for every possible company you have, right? You can go into pretty much every bank and have an app-based authentication like Authy, Google Authenticate, or multiple like that. Use that. Never ever use your SMS or telephone for anything like that. And these are and don't download like random apps on your phone and keep a password on your phone. So these are general tips, right? Don't change your password frequently, like maybe every 2 months or every month, or how frequently you can do it. Or even today, like go into your Five account and change the password and set up 2FA, and that will prevent you from 90% of the attacks.
Yeah, definitely. And for, you mentioned that it's 4 or 5% of the population that are really at risk. And a lot of people that are watching, they're either considering getting into cryptocurrency, or they have a small amount, and, they don't expect that they're not in the limelight showing off their balances on the internet. So maybe they don't have anything to worry about. Do those people need to worry about the SIM swapping as well?
Yeah, so 90% of customers are actually non-crypto, which is actually interesting that I didn't have that thought that 90% of customers will be non-crypto. We have doctors, engineers, lawyers, accountants, general publics too. Like we had been serving professionals too. Like I'll give you a simple example. Imagine someone have control of your telephone number, your social media your Facebook, as Twitter, and like your emails and any your bank account. What damage can they do? If the answer is nothing, then obviously you don't need to worry about it. But if the answer is yes, then you need to worry about it. A lot of people say that the reason I mentioned about like top 5% is because of affordability. A lot of people are looking for cheap. So that's the advantage that people look for. So what companies do is they provide them cheap solution, but at the same time they make them a product. So I'll go to Ashton, I say, Ashton, like their cell phone service is free, but what I'll do is anyone who pay me like $5, I'll give him like all your data usage. Which websites are you using, who are you calling, and then I can bombard you with the advertisement, and this is what people do. So they sell you. So our theory is that top 5% may be able to afford, they may be able to afford their privacy, their freedom, because freedom isn't cheap. And as I said, so that's the only theory. And people say it's expensive. So we say it's like education. If you believe education is expensive, like try affording, being ignorant or being uneducated. So it's a similar thing with security too. If you cannot afford security, right, definitely you cannot afford breach.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And we're running out of time, but if there are viewers that are looking to learn more about protecting their cell phones, their privacy, and about Efani, what is the best way for them to reach out and to learn more?
The best part is to look at efani.com. It's EFANI.com. We also have guides for people who don't want to switch or believe they are. So we have free guides that you can visit, and it will guide you on like how to secure yourself. We also have a telephone number on our website that they can call in if they have any question about their cell phone privacy and security. But again, as I said, we don't serve 95% of customers. So there's a likelihood to chance that people who call us may not be our customers.
That's great. Well, I will leave the link to that in the description box below. Thank you so much for your time, Haseeb. It's been a pleasure learning about this, and all the best moving forward with Efani.
Thank you, Ashton, for having me call. And again, we are always open to help people. Thank you.